That we're seeing homes and businesses devastated. WMAR2 News' Megan Knight is live in the city this morning. Megan, you grew up in Ellicott City. What's it looking like there this morning?
Well, it's funny, Christian, we were just talking, my photographer Eric and I, because we were down here 2 years ago covering this very same story. We were just noticing some of the differences being down here. We're right off Ellicott Mills Drive, right near Main Street. So the first big thing that we noticed is that a huge chunk of Ellicott Mills Drive right up next to Main Street is missing. That's why we are so far back. 2 years ago, we were able to go all the way up there. You know, there's the Welcome to Historic Ellicott City sign that greets you as you're going down the hill there. But obviously we're being kept way far back because that's a huge safety hazard. And then as Eric pans over to your left there, the other thing that we've noticed is Lot F. This is right behind the wine bin, is just a complete mess. It is full of mud and debris. You can see those cars, some of that mud coming right up until their tires. 2 years ago, Lot F did not look like that. In fact, I think a lot of the emergency personnel were using that as a place where they could stage their equipment as they were assessing the damage down Main Street. So certainly just by where I'm standing, this looks a lot worse than it was 2 years ago. And in fact, Howard County Executive Alan Kittleman said so himself last night, that he also believes that the devastation from this flood is far worse than it was 2 years ago. Now, you know, a lot of the businesses here have been certainly devastated by all of what happened here. They've been taking 2 years to rebuild their businesses. And, you know, just last night, there was a Baltimore couple that was set to get married at the Main Street Ballroom right below La Palapas. They had to relocate twice before they could get their I-dos in, and then they had to evacuate.
I married the girl of my dreams. We're just happy everyone's safe. We're still trying to get people safe. It was a chaotic day.
Chaotic indeed. Now, if you want to make a donation, you can go to our website, WMAR2news.com. We've got a couple of sites up there that you can go to, one including the Ellicott City Partnership that is collecting monetary donations. You can also go to the Howard County Food Bank in Columbia from 10 until 2 if you want to make a donation of water, cleaning supplies, or flashlights, certainly all things that business and homeowners are going to need as soon as they're able to get down to Main Street and see the damage from the floods. We're live in Old Ellicott City. I'm Megan Knight, WMAR2 News.
Okay, Megan, we'll check back in with you. Thanks very much for that. Meantime, the Howard County Executive Alan Kittleman says he is completely devastated as Ellicott City deals with its second major flood in less than 2 years. Right now, he's just sharing the heartache.
Think about how hard it is for us and multiply that times 1 million. And that's how hard it is for people who live and work on Main Street.
And he is also urging people to stay away from Main Street there in Ellicott City as they try to recover not a sightseeing place, but a place that needs a lot of work to get back to anything resembling normalcy. 6:05 right now. We're going to send it out to WMAR2 News' Chanel Pearman. She's also in Ellicott City, and she has a look at the emergency response and what's next as they start the initial phases of the recovery again. Chanel.
Christian, emergency crews have been working through the night, and their first priority is making sure that people are safe and keeping them away from dangerous situations. As you see behind me here, there are still several streets blocked off at this time. This is actually as close as we could get to Old Ellicott City. We're about a mile away on Rogers Avenue and Main Street, right outside of St. Peter's Church, one of the shelters people can go to. Now, only emergency vehicles are getting through the street. Everyone else is being turned away. As you see, the sign blocking off the street is warning of high water, and from where we are now, we can see down trees and debris. And as people are waking up this morning, they're going to have to deal with yet another rebuilding process. Just last week, WMAR2 News spoke with business owners, and many say they just finished recovering from the floods that ripped through the city almost 2 years ago. County officials announced plans to help prepare the city for disasters like this. Ellicott City was one of 3 locations chosen by the U.S. Department of Homeland Security for a pilot program that would create a better warning system. They plan to install 48 sensors across the area that would help better predict disasters like this and get warnings out faster. The first installation was scheduled for just a few weeks, and no word yet on how yesterday's storm will impact those plans and what new plans will be in place.
A lot of this stuff has already been just temporary. There are more improvements that were underway and planned. Nobody expected another storm of this magnitude to come 2 years later because, as I said, they're only supposed to happen every 1,000 years.
For those who are in need of a place to go, there are a few shelters that you can go to. There's a Roger Carter Community Center, as well as here at St. Peter's Church. For now, live in Ellicott City, Chanel Pearman, WMAR 2 News.
Yes, thanks very much for that, Chanel. Local officials devastated by the flooding and the damage in downtown Ellicott City. Governor Hogan, you heard him, among several others who got a tour of the area yesterday when he first arrived on the scene. The governor, along with Lieutenant Governor Boyd Rutherford and the Howard County Executive Alan Kittleman, were some of the first to see what is left behind after the storm. County executive once again saying this is the worst flooding that's ever happened to the area. That includes the flood from 2 years ago. Governor Hogan admitting it's a sign he's hoping to see some hope among the chaos.
To see that on the marquee, EC Strong, when no one is there and the stores are blown out again, I think we both got a little emotional.
Yeah, once again, officials asking people to have respect for people who live in Ellicott City and the business owners, asking people not to come just to look at the damage in Ellicott City as they can try to assess what's wrong there. State officials, Howard County officials planning to work together to help the community rebuild once again. Well, today is Memorial Day, and you can participate in several events around the state to honor people who sacrificed their lives for our country. 10 o'clock this morning, Delaney Valley Memorial Gardens will host a ceremony at its Field of Honor garden to salute fallen heroes, and at